Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Ausra Pinkevičienė.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 426 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by John, and he writes, I have struggled to get much quality organ practice in the last 2 weeks, but family has to come first. Prior to that, I have been diligently practicing the first 10 Hanon exercises with a metronome, starting at 60 beats per minute and working my way up to 80. I started noticing a few small issues where I was drifting off beat. I've also tried practicing pieces to a metronome as I am subconsciously changing the tempo without realizing. I have learned the first 2 pages of Wachet Auf and playing it okay. It took quite a while to get the chorale tune. It certainly tests my coordination and the independence of right hand, left hand and pedals. Page 3 with the modulation to minor mode is taking even more work, but slow practice is working. I'm playing to our church service on Sunday. I'm really excited as I haven't played at church since January due to Isaac arriving. One of the hymns is a new one, and when I practiced it, I had a special moment of realizing how much my skills have improved. After 3 days of very slow practice, I was able to play all 4 parts together with hardly a mistake. I reckon even 2 years ago it would have been taken 7 to 10 days to achieve this. In fact, 2 years ago I remember emailing you saying I was struggling with playing all 4 parts of hymns when I had only 1 week's notice. I think I have finally reached a point where I'm committed to trusting the learning process, whereas sometimes I would skip some combinations or try and play at performance tempo. Now I really focus on slowing the tempo right down and sometimes practice each fragment 10 times instead of 3 times. I wanted to thank you and Ausra for being the reason for my first DVD sale in the USA from one of your subscribers, Paul Anderson. I had a go at organizing the payment and shipping through PayPal, and so far, so good. Also, could you and Ausra give your advice on a podcast on some practical strategies to improve my phrasing? This could apply to hymns, but particularly Bach pieces, in music in general. How do you incorporate pauses, breaths, while still keeping at steady tempo? It is getting close to 1 year since my Vilnius trip. The memories are still fresh, and I would love to come and visit you guys again one day. I hope the weather will soon warm up and bring you more energy. Take care, God bless, John. So Ausra, it's very nice to receive a letter like that from John, who exactly 1 year ago, I would say, played a concert at our church from Australia.
Yes, I think I saw it on Facebook today that it's exactly 1 year since he performed at St. John's in Vilnius.
By the time our listeners will hear this conversation, it might be more than 1 year, but still the memories are fresh, and we were really amazed at John's improvement over 7 years of training. And now he writes that he was able to master a hymn in 4 parts with hardly a mistake after 3 days. And this is an achievement in itself, because 2 years ago he remembers that he had to do this in maybe 7 to 10 days.
Anyway, hard work always, gives its results at the end.
It's so nice that he made his first sale of his DVD to one of our subscribers, Paul Anderson, and I guess it's not easy to sell something online, right? And I'm very happy that from our discussion when we mentioned John's DVD, people picked up.
True. I think it might be interesting for somebody, to see what the organs look in Australia, because for many of us it's still such an exotic and far away country.
Right. So John is wondering about advice on improving phrasing, maybe incorporating pauses and breaths in Bach's pieces, but not only in Bach's, but also in other stylistic influences. Do you think that phrasing is important, Ausra, first of all?
Yes, of course, it's very important.
What would happen if we didn't include phrasing in our playing?
Well, all the pieces of music would sound very dry and mechanical. Lifeless.
Have you ever listened to that 18th century mechanical organ? Remember, I think in Nebraska, somebody gave us a recording of Handel's concerto, as recorded on that particular mechanical organ.
I don't recall it right now, but you do. Apparently you do, so
I do.
Maybe you could explain what you mean.
And it was very virtuosic, absolutely stunning passages and ornaments, but I found it quite unmusical, actually, because to program a piece on a mechanical device like that in 18th century would have been really difficult. Now you can play something on a MIDI equipped organ or keyboard, and it would play back exactly as you were performing.
In some sense, it seems that it's harder to learn all the technical stuff, to develop your technique in order to be able to play in the right tempo and without mistakes, with the right articulation. But on the other hand, I think phrasing and playing musically things is probably the hardest thing to do, especially if you don't have it from your birth. And by telling this, I can tell one, example. Recently I have had a student with whom we were working on several pieces, and basically I was, arranging each measure for her, what to do and how to play it, and where to slow down, and which chord to listen to more carefully than another one. and explain that all. Basically, I arranged this sort of like a, I don't know,
Show?
like a, well, not exactly like a show, like a theater production.
Right.
And still at the end, it all sounded just like, chopping the wood sticks with an axe. She couldn't pick it up.
She needs musical intuition, but that comes, I think, with experience also.
So, what would help in cases like this? I think you need to listen to a lot of music in general, all kinds of music, not only organ music but organ too, by various performers. And you will find out that after comparing, let's say some of different people playing, let's say, the same piece, you would feel that you like one recording more than in another.
Exactly.
And you will develop a musical taste and musical intuition. And later on, it will be easier for you, to adapt it in your pieces that you are playing.
I would say the more you notice something happening in the music, the more you can show it to your listeners, and that includes phrasing, breaths and pauses, all those things in certain places, not in all episodes, but where something important is happening in music. So you have to dig deeper into the composition itself, analyze it, and notice it.
Yes, I think that this musicological background is also very important in knowing, structure, knowing style.
One last thing I want to say is that I remember when I was a student, my professors would tell me sometimes that I'm playing statically, especially if it's a slow tempo piece, that the music doesn't flow. Did you ever have this experience?
Yes, I have had it.
Earlier.
Yes, it was a way back. Now it's hard for me even to remember it already.
And exactly, and I was thinking about your performances, my own performances, but probably I'm a little bit less objective about myself, but you could tell me about me. I never once noticed static performance from you. What about you?
I also haven't noticed a static performance of you. I think we have just changed, a lot over past 25 years.
We never think about it, playing statically or not statically, right? We make music.
Yes, it comes naturally.
We make music. It's like telling musical story. If you don't know where the story ends, then you might tell your story statically, right?
True. I think it's very important, to sing your pieces. Because very often we might play, musically and dull and statically, but people rarely sing unmusically unless we don't have musical pitch. Sort of, it's hard, to put an accent, let's say, at the end of the phrase if you're singing it. It comes naturally because it's all related with the breathing, and somehow I think it's in everybody's, insight, which gives you, that right feeling of a right phrasing. So just, sing what you're playing.
Good advice. Thank you guys. This was Vidas
and Ausra.
We hope this was useful to you. Please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online. where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your essays, courses and all your help."
Robert writes, "I found the fingerings, registration ideas and general comments to be excellent."
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you were teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor."
Robert writes, "It has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching."
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward."
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition, and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas.
And Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.